When it comes to debates in the kaiju community, the most heated ones are usually Godzilla vs. Godzilla or other kaiju. However, there's the less debated one, but still quite popular, such as Godzilla vs. Gamera and Godzilla vs. Ultraman. However, while a few people did cover this topic, especially Goji Chronic, however, I did get a request from this person right here, and I honestly thought this was a good idea. Instead of putting Godzilla and Ultraman against each other, why not make both of them fight two kaijus that nearly gave them a run for their money? Zetton and Mechagodzilla, the last two kaijus to fight both Ultraman and Godzilla. In this video, I'm going to be pinning Showa Godzilla against Zetton, but more specifically Composite Zetton, as he'll have the height and weight of the original, and will have the abilities from the original Ultraman to Ultraman Taiga. So, let's begin the battle. First up is strength. Now the reason why I'm starting with strength is because their height and weight is pretty well known, but for those who don't know, Showa Godzilla is 50 meters tall and is 20,000 metric tons, and Zetton is 60 meters tall and 33,000 tons. So with that out of the way, let's start off with strength. First is Showa Godzilla. Godzilla has lots of showcases of his strength. His best feat of strength is when he threw around Zendora, and even ripping off his tail. For those who don't know, Zendora is a terror beast from Zone Fighter, and is the heaviest terror beast, weighing at an eye-watering 91,000 metric tons. This is just one of the examples. Showa Godzilla also has Megaton punches, capable of knocking kaiju over, as well as having powerful kicks. An example is when his atomic breath didn't destroy the dome of the Keelhack's base. He kicks inward, causing an explosion. Also, Godzilla's tail is strong enough to pounce at enemies, knocking over kaiju and even performing his drop kick. And even his jaws were powerful enough to bite the throat of the first generation Anguirus. Finally, another example is when he tore off the head of Mechagodzilla, the same mech that lives in a black hole. Next up is Zetton. Now he has shown great deal of strength, swiping Ultraman to the side and nearly choking him, causing his color timer to immediately blink. Another example is when he threw Gamora by the tail, lifting 20,000 tons over his shoulder, and overhead slammed Ella King at Gamora, who weighs 25,000 tons more. And his strength manages to swipe enemies to the side. So who wins in strength? Showa Godzilla! Simply put, Showa Godzilla has shown lots of strength, capable of lifting kaiju twice and even 3 times his weight. So Godzilla takes the win for strength. Next is speed. Once again, starting off with Showa Godzilla. While Godzilla can run on land, despite not knowing how fast he can travel, however, his great feat of speed was when he lifted himself in the air while chasing Hedorah. Godzilla's speed is described as being Mach 1. And for Zetton, well, yeah, there's no official statements on how fast he is, but once again, Showa Godzilla takes the win for speed. Coming up next is both IQ and Battle IQ. For the third time in a row, let's start with Showa Godzilla. Now, Godzilla himself has shown a lot of intelligence. He frequently demonstrates the ability to coordinate attacks with his kaiju allies, also capable of processing with human-like intelligence. A good example of this is when he uses atomic breath to power the giant electrodes built by the JSDF to destroy Hedorah. Also, he can communicate with his allies and other kaiju. Godzilla also strategizes in his attacks in combat. Now what about Zetton? Just like Godzilla, he did show some average intelligence. He figured out to escape by hitting Ultraman while being trapped in the catch rings, fired his red beam shell, causing him to break free. He also shows to be very skillful in combat, as well as catching and even absorbing attacks from other enemies. Honestly, I'm gonna have to declare a tie at both IQ and Battle IQ, since both kaijus have been shown to be very intelligent in combat and figuring out problems. Following up next is agility. Again, let's look at Godzilla. Now Godzilla is very agile in battle, able to get up fast, as well as maneuver and dodge attacks, and of course capable of running. And he's stated to be similar to moving around like a boxer. Now for Zetton, pretty similar to Godzilla, he's surprisingly agile as well. Zetton can run, do a backflip, and even perform a flying kick, as well as getting up back quickly. Once again, it's a tie for agility. Up next is durability. Alright, this time let's start with Zetton. In his first encounter, he tanked a lot of assault from the Science Patrol, and tanked Ultraman's abilities. And after being supposedly defeated by Gamora and Litra, he just got back up like nothing, and shrugging off attacks as well as powerful blows. Next up is Showa Godzilla. Like the original, Godzilla is completely immune to conventional human weapons, but he does have a good feat of durability. For an example, he took Ghidorah's gravity beams to the balls, the same beams that destroyed Venus in a few days. But there's more. Literally took an assault from Mechagodzilla, getting cuts from Gigan's buzzsaw, and getting hit by Hedorah's aesthetic body. I would give the win to Showa Godzilla for durability, as he has taken more damage than Zetton. Up next is abilities. First up this time, let's take a look at Showa Godzilla. Once again, Godzilla comes with a lot of abilities that you would least expect, such as his atomic breath, magnetic powers after getting struck by lightning, regeneration, mechaton punches, capable of knocking kaiju to the ground, amphibiousness, and flight. Next is Zetton, and he has some crazy amount of abilities, such as Zetton Final Beam, one of the most powerful, being able to absorb and fire back at its enemies. Zetton Breaker, same thing but much more weaker. 1 trillion degree fireballs, despite its name, he can make it small or big, and it acts more of a projectile that overwhelms enemies. He also has Zetton Barrier, a barrier that protects him from attacks. Zetton Star Shells, teleportation, red beam shell, flight, super strength, and enhance agility and reflexes. For the first time in this fight, Zetton wins for abilities. Finally, our physical weapons. And I'm not really going to go into this one because, well, yeah, Godzilla easily wins for physical weapons. Alright, the score of 5-3, Showa Godzilla takes strength and speed as well as durability, while Zetton takes abilities, and both are tied at IQ and battle IQ and agility. And this one is very close, but the winner is Showa Godzilla. Now before you guys go crazy in the comments, which you never do, thank you by the way, let me explain why. Now Godzilla of course isn't going to beat Zetton that easily, as Zetton is pretty close when it comes to agility and reflexes, and especially with a bunch of abilities. However, Godzilla would barely recover from this due to him taking lots of damage from Zetton, but thanks to Godzilla's strength, speed, and durability, also intelligence, he should be able to beat Zetton, but it comes with the cost of taking lots of damage. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, this is the host of the most, signing off, see you later.